Hi guys, welcome to Save Point. We are a video game talk show where we get your suggestions from Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and any other social network.
My name's Ryan Shepard.
I'm Nick Rubio.
And I'm Hunter Taylor.
All right, thank you for joining us. We're going to talk about your topics, as this brilliant young man just said, and I'm going to pull one now. If you don't mind, did you want to? Do you want to go? I don't want to impose. I know I'm a guest and you're
Do you want to go? Do I want to go? Do you want to go? You want to go after he goes and I go?
I can't take all the decisions to make.
I'm just going to go ahead. All right, this one comes from Elliot Rodriguez on YouTube. He says...
What did he say?
Okay, so this is in reference to our last week's video. He goes, so why did Digimon die? I always thought it was as good as Pokemon. Even the games were fun, like Digimon World 1, 2, 3, etc. I don't think I played any Digimon games.
The Digimon games were actually... Some of them were fun.
Were they good?
Some of them were fun. Some of them were bad. Some of them were really bad.
What was the one for GameCube? The Digimon World 3?
I don't remember.
Probably.
I don't remember them. I don't remember the specific ones. I couldn't tell you the name of a good one.
That game was fucking hard.
Was it?
Yeah.
I never played any Digimon. All I ever wanted in my young life was like a Digivice. Like I used to
the what's it called? Tamagotchis, but the Digimon theme.
You want to hear the nerdiest thing you will hear today? When I was younger, and the Game Boy Advance SP came out. You know, the first one that flipped open. I used to pretend it was a scanner from Star Trek.
Did you like?
No, you just flip it out and you like pretend you're scanning things.
Okay.
You know,
he bought the Game Boy camera.
I did not buy the Game Boy camera. I think that.
Remember the Game Boy camera and then the printer that came along with it, so you could.
I feel like that's a little too old for us, man.
No,
we were pretty young.
That was our time. That was Game Boy Color. I remember. Remember
you know
Pokemon Yellow? They used to like print out the Pikachu surfing.
I wish I could be as old as I am now when the color Game Boy came out. I'm like, really? You guys are assholes. That was before they actually had color. Mm-hmm. But to joke on the fact that they didn't have color, they came out with colored Game Boys. Like you get a yellow Game Boy and a blue Game Boy and a green Game Boy. It doesn't have color, but it's colored.
There were colors. They were just like red, green, or blue, and that's all you got.
Well, then when they finally had colors in it on the Game Boy Color, what they have they had like 13 colors maybe, or is it 16? I don't know.
I think it was 16-bit or something like that.
Anyway, back to Digimon. I didn't play any of them. Tell me about them.
I think at least the games didn't do as great just because some of them were real difficult. Mm-hmm. So I feel like as far as Pokemon was simple. You caught Pokemon, you had 4 moves and you battled and you finished the game. Whereas Digimon games were like, you had to fucking go out into the wild and feed your Digimon, and
they were big.
Well, then let me ask you a question then. Since you said that you think it might have been too difficult, do you believe in what they... I don't remember who said it, but they said that one of the Super Mario games didn't come out in America, I believe, because they said it was too hard for an American audience.
See, now,
was that Mario or was that Final Fantasy?
It was Mario.
Okay, it was Mario.
I'm pretty sure it was Mario.
Because I know a Final Fantasy game also was not released until
I think we're talking about two different demographics. I think we're talking about the fact that Digimon's geared towards children, Pokemon's geared towards children, where Super Mario was sort of everybody played it. It wasn't like geared towards anyone specifically. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the fact that it was geared towards children and it was difficult, it was hard for the kids, to just pick it up.
You had to have a lot of patience.
Yeah,
a lot of patience.
So, and as far as the cartoons go, I mean, they just didn't hold sway with people.
And you know what? I don't think it's necessarily that in Japan that they had like a smarter child audience, which honestly they might have. But the fact is,
big in Japan either anymore.
At the time of when they came out. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is that in Japan, I feel like earlier on it was less weird for older people to be playing those games. You know what I mean? Like I think 10 years ago playing Digimon was not that weird for a 20-year-old man to do. Mm-hmm. Now it's a little less weird, but still kind of weird here.
I don't know. I'm gonna play Pokemon on the day I die. So,
Pokemon for life.
That's it's gonna happen. There's gonna be every day, every generation until the day I die. There's gonna be a Pokemon game that I've played.
Not a big
I don't know.
person.
Like I said, Digimon was good for the first couple of generations, but it just didn't have that. It just got kind of lame.
Yeah, once I got rid of Greymon, they fucked up.
I don't know. They were so cool, but it's that same thing where it's like you can only have so many transformations. You can have only so many forms. You can only go Super Saiyan so many damn times.
So when you were a kid, were you like a huge Digimon fan,
or
just like a mild?
Yeah. I love.
I remember getting teary-eyed during like one of the episodes where like the angel, the cat that turned into the angel, and at one point like she dies, and I remember like freaking out, like no.
Were you guys into Shaman King? Did you like that one at all?
I remembered. I didn't get big into it. I remember when it first came out in Shonen Jump. That's when it was first like it was.
What was the really weird fighting one where there was like a guy named Dick Dick? Do you remember that? What was that? It was like a fighting one. Do you know what I'm talking about? He wasn't human either. He was like a weird thing.
No, I don't remember that.
You guys don't remember that?
There's a lot of shows that I remember watching as a kid that were that are very vague to me now, like Cubics. I don't remember Cubics. I don't remember the plot to Cubics. I remember that they were cubes and that they transformed.
That's probably what the plot was.
That was the plot, but I don't remember like what they were defending. If there were humans in it, I don't remember.
Well, there were people that didn't like them.
We're getting sidetracked.
Yeah. Back to video Legos.
I'm sure there's a Cubics game if we dig for it. All right, Jason O'Malley at Joe Malley 6291981 12 seconds ago. At Uninspired, do you think virtual reality will be embraced by the mainstream gaming community?
Well, if you were to ask Michael Anthony, he'd say no, because he doesn't believe that gamers will ever not be lazy enough to play with a real VR setup. But I disagree.
Are we talking real VR like the Oculus Rift, or real VR like that one?
Like the holodeck in Star Trek?
No, like those guys. That one Swedish company that like they had to like run and shit.
That's a little bit more.
Cyberdyne, I think the company was called.
I think no, that was not Cyberdyne.
It was close.
But
it was close.
Was it Armadyne?
So it was close. It was something like that.
I'm kind of in the middle about it because
I'll wear an Oculus Rift.
I'd do it. I think I would.
Like, especially if you're going based off of like sales and everything.
Yeah.
Like the Wii, even though it did commercially really good and stuff, it's still nobody's playing it. You know what I mean?
It's gonna come down to the games, though. I think.
Yeah, that too. But even still, we had a really good, strong start that just died out. That's probably another reason why. But even still, like the Kinect for 360, it didn't do as well. But then again, just like you said about games. But I think even if they had some decent games, I don't know if it would be as like big as just regular, console games. So like I'm kind of like in the middle because I don't know, I'm not sure, but it's a possibility. I think it definitely could be if it's done really well.
Well, see, it's interesting, like in the case of the Oculus Rift, because I think where VR stuff, or not necessarily just VR stuff, but active gameplay things like the Guitar Hero games. Well, that's semi more active if you're playing the drums at least, you know.
Did you see the guy who remade Metroid for the Oculus Rift?
No.
Yeah, he remade Metroid Prime, and you could play through the game, but like have all you're looking around and stuff like that.
Right.
And it was really cool. The only bad part about it is that the HUD clipped when you went too far.
Right.
Because they obviously the people who made the game didn't build the helmet. You know.
Well, yeah, with active games like that where you're actually getting and doing stuff like the dance games, for instance, are popular mainstream, but only like in a group setting. Like that's something you do with a bunch of people. Like you're less likely to get up and do things by yourself, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that makes it a little bit harder of a sell, or a sell rather. But no, a sale. It's a hard sale, or is it a hard sell? No, it's a hard sell.
It's not a sale.
No, past tense versus present. Anyway. I don't know. I like to think that it will just because it's so cool. I mean, especially with horror games and stuff, I think VR might take off. Because you don't have to pay all your games that way. Like, there's a time and place when you're going to want to use your Oculus Rift, and then sometimes you're not going to want to.
Oh, God. They ran out of materials, right, to make them? Like, the production's halted?
For Oculus Rift? Mm-hmm. But they aren't even for sale yet.
I mean, they're making them for their developers and stuff. If you apply for a developer kit, they send them to you, but they ran out.
Jeez.
Yeah. Ran out of stuff to make it with.
But the real question is...
Science.
Will we ever get a Digimon VR game? When is Digimon coming to the Oculus Rift? Probably never.
Would you play the Digimon, or would you play the person...
No, you play the person. You just,
transforming or riding Digimon?
So hard not to sneeze. I'm like...
Welcome to Sneeze Point, where we have allergies.
Mucus. I'm allergic to your bullshit, Ryan.
I am too. It's okay.
You almost sounded like Wilfred for a second.
There was no British in my voice at all.
No, just the deepness of your voice. It kind of reminded me of Wilfred.
Ooh.
And then you said Ryan. So
deep.
That's Elijah.
Very manly.
Video Game Bang on Twitter asked, you think Titanfall is worth $59.99 with no campaign?
It was worth this poster.
And isn't there a campaign? Like it's just like an online.
It's like integrated into the multiplayer, and to be honest, playing through it, the only time I ever really cared about it is when I wasn't playing.
Yeah, I heard.
And I got to hear the tidbits of like conversations that people would have before the game starts.
I wonder if what they were going with that is the idea of replay values, like because it's so hard to pick up on the story while you're playing it that maybe they think you're likely to play through it a few times.
But even then, like I'm gonna be playing through, but my main objective is to win the match. That like when I go into that game, I'm going to try to win the match. And so I don't pay attention to any of the, story that's going on. I
might want to re-say that.
You want to run that back?
I wasn't paying attention, but I don't think I missed anything. I'm just kidding. No, I get what you're saying. Like that's your main objective. You're so focused on winning the match.
The few times that like I actually stopped to like look at something happening was like when like a ship exploded in the sky, or at the end, like the very last mission, there was like a pelican or whatever the fuck they called their version of the pelican. I'm gonna call it pelican because that's what it looked like to me. Was trounced upon by a Titan.
Look, I'm just gonna say it this way: when was the last time you played a Call of Duty campaign? You're like, yeah, this is what I bought this for. I bought this. I spent $60 for this.
Why aren't people complaining about Second Son?
Oh, because it's only
single player, and I've not heard a damn word about it.
It's because single player is the original format. Like games were originally single player. I think that's why.
But it's like, I still feel like the argument, like you can't swing the argument one way without being able to swing the sword the other way.
I agree with you, but do you think it's worth $60 as it is? No single player
with Titanfall.
Yeah.
See, now Titanfall was kind of sketchy to me because. Playing the beta, if you played the beta and then you immediately played the actual game after, it didn't feel like that much of a difference.
Right.
For me, at least. There was a few more modes and stuff. I feel like for such a big game, they could and should have added more. Because they weren't putting all their development resources into a campaign per se, that they should have at least doubled the maps or at least thought up of more awesome game types.
But 15 maps to start isn't bad.
It isn't bad at all. I mean, I played through some new maps
but the game is so fun for you.
No, it's still fun. I have tons of fun playing it. It's a great game, when it acts properly.
But you don't think quite worth 60?
I don't know. I feel like the $60 model of games has been dragged out too long. Yeah. TBH. Yeah. I mean, especially with DLC and stuff like that. I mean,
well, I just saw an article today saying that the reason why games are so high is because of how much money they put into marketing.
It's the retailers.
It's retailers and it's marketing. Like they have these super star-studded ad campaigns. Like I mean, like I saw some stuff in Europe they were advertising Titanfall with like statues in like public cities and stuff.
Belgium. Did you see one in Belgium? It looked like that was the same statue from the group photo.
Oh wow.
Respawn. Yeah.
I think it's worth it just because I think they're going to keep adding features and game modes. At least I hope so over time.
Well, they are. They already said that there's going to be free DLC. There's going to be private matches. They're going to do all this stuff. But I feel like that should have been stuff that since they weren't really working on the campaign. I feel like okay. Let's take a look. I know this is a new studio, but they're a studio of veterans. You know what I mean?
Right. But I think they were pushed for time because they weren't going to be a launch title. They knew that, but they still wanted to be an early title.
I know, but you got to look at think about a game like Call of Duty that gets pumped out every year.
Yeah.
They have a campaign, albeit not a great one, a multiplayer, and then all the features that Titanfall is just going to add anyway soon, like private matches and private lobbies and stuff like that. So I don't know.
But I mean, the fact that they made this game with the Source engine, like they completely like turned that engine on its head. Like if you've seen any other games made with Source, Counter-Strike, Halo 2, this is the same engine.
No, it's an amazing game. It's worth. I mean, I paid way more than $60. So
I think it's personally worth the $60 because. The way I see it is, it's about the amount of hours you're willing to put into the game.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If you put in over like 100 hours into the game, to me, right there, it's worth $60.
Fix your damn servers.
Thank you. Well put. Short and sweet. It's about the time you put into it. Do you think you're going to put 100 hours into that game?
Fix your damn servers, EA.
Well, that's obviously going to happen.
EA.
They're going to fix it.
It's not Respawn's fault. It's EA's fault.
Of course it's EA's fault. Everyone knows that EA is actually Satan. That is a common gamer truth.
You know that the CEO of EA is actually a well-spoken, really thoughtful person. I don't understand.
Doesn't mean he's not a dick. Is it a lady or is it?
It's a guy. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, he's actually a really cool guy. I don't know how his company's fucking a pain in my ass though.
Well, it's like you could probably know the CEO of any company, and to you he might be cool, but like his business practices might not be great. I don't know. I think it's worth the $60. I think.
If you haven't bought it, you're a terrible human being.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not out for Xbox 360 yet. So
not till soon.
And it hasn't been denied that eventually it possibly could be ported to PS4. Because
that's if Microsoft doesn't. Microsoft would be stupid not to buy the franchise from them.
I don't think they're going to because they're doing what they did with like BioShock 1, where BioShock 1 it was theirs, but then after a while they're like, you know what? It's already too late because everybody already bought our version.
Yeah,
that's because
it's like no one wants to wait 2 years to play a game. No one wants to wait 2 years for a game, so it's fine. It's like people who are brand loyalists are a little annoying to me. Like it's fine if Titanfall comes out on PlayStation 4, but in the same vein of how people are mad that Kingdom Hearts 3 will be coming out on Xbox One as well,
or the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, they're like, why is this coming out on Xbox with PlayStation game? You traitors! Traitors!
They want to make money, and by not selling it on other consoles, they aren't making money.
Well, because the thing is as a company, what kind of deal do you have to make to tell a company, I do not want you to sell this game for $60 a pop to 1 million people, okay? Now, let's say they only get a quarter of that. What's a quarter of 60? I'm dumb. 15, right? So they get $15 million. So that means you have to offer them a deal that's better than $15 million, you know? Because otherwise, they're just losing money.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a great game. You should go out and buy it. TBH. I mean, I personally think just the standard practice of games being 60
I mean, if you want to wait a few months, sure. See what comes out. See if they improve the servers. See if they introduce some new game modes, which I am very confident that they will.
Titan with every DLC patch.
Really?
Every new DLC patch.
They should make a Titan that just tells you to go fuck yourself. Runs up.
I want the new colors too.
And then self-destructs.
That's gonna help so much. The changing colors.
Oh, what? You all team colors or something?
Yeah, they're gonna. Oh God, I hate killing grunts because I think they're people, and then not killing grunts because they are people.
Well, that's the worst thing is you'll be playing Titanfall and you'll be casually mowing down grunts because they don't put much of a fight, and then you'll get killed by someone, and it's almost like, you ever talk to someone who's more important than you think they are? So you talk to them overly casually. You're like, oh yeah, hey man, what's going on? We're just shooting this shit over here. That's the president of ABC. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm sorry to know who you are. It's the same thing. You're trying to kill these grunts or whatever, and then someone kills you, and you're like, no, I thought you were an AI. I'm not that bad of a player. No. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You feel like you misrepresented how good you are because you weren't trying as hard. Maybe that's just me. I'm neurotic.
Or you emptied a clip out in a bunch of people and now you're out of ammo and this guy's got a full clip because he didn't bother killing the Spectre.
All right, I hope you guys are ready for this.
I'm not.
All right.
What is
this?
That?
Comes from Tumblr. This is from Duablog or DOA blog. Maybe Duablog. We asked for topics and they said Rust.
And this is where we start our vague point set.
Welcome back to a vague point, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, but then, so I was like, okay, could you be a bit more specific? And someone else was nice enough to come in. This is from Liz Tits on Tumblr. She says, talk about the chemical reaction that causes rust.
So, oxidization.
Nick, you have the floor. You're the science guy. Nick. All right. Nick.
So when we have
what's your
iron,
name?
Alberto?
Does anyone rhyme with Guy?
How long have we been... Are you trying to make me Nick Nye the science guy?
Nick Nye the science guy. Teach us about oxidization, Nick!
Alright, when you got a thing, you got another thing, and you put those two things together, there's a chemical reaction, and at the end of that chemical reaction is that shit right there, rust.
Wait, so anything, if I put this to this bowl, rust happens?
If you make a chemical reaction, then yes.
But
now, specifically speaking, iron, or Fe.
Okay.
And oxygen, O.
Right.
Or O2, I believe. And you make that stuff happen, and I don't have the equation in front of me, but it's
so
like
how come
it's like 3Fe plus O2. The chemistry's equivalent of equal to whatever it is, and it's like 3Fe O2 something. I forget. I need to have the thing in front of me. Does anyone know what the hell I'm talking about?
I'm sorry, I blacked out.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
What I'm assuming though is he's talking about the game. And I haven't played Rust in forever, and I choose not to because humanity scares me.
I mean, Rust was fun for
humanity scares me.
Well, it gets kind of boring because the thing in Rust is that, okay, it's an open world game, and the idea is that you can scavenge and build a shelter. But the thing is no matter what, when you log out, someone's gonna come in and ruin your shelter. They're gonna destroy it. Like it's It's like
self-defeat.
It's the game of like catch up. You know what I mean? Like oh man, too bad I lost all those resources. Spent 10 hours gathering. Guess I'll try again. Like imagine if you played World of Warcraft and then when you signed out of World of Warcraft, your character stayed in game and someone could kill that character and you dropped all your items. Wouldn't that be fun?
Wait, RuneScape?
I said World of Warcraft.
I was saying that's RuneScape basically.
Oh, okay.
Because in RuneScape you could actually die and lose your items. Well, can you do it in some other MMO?
Oh, sure.
Did you know that they're
EverQuest,
saying that...
You know EverQuest turned 15 yesterday?
Is EverQuest Next still coming out, or did that already come out?
It's coming out.
Is anyone going to play it?
I don't... Not
in the world?
That's our question.
Are you going to play EverQuest Next?
The EverQuest, that's a big community. That's huge.
It is. They actually have a very strong cult following. I worked with somebody who was like 15 years older than me, and they're like, yeah, me and my husband play EverQuest. And I was like, good for you. That's pretty cool.
A lot of
You thought I was gonna say something shitty. I didn't.
It's I don't know. Good for them.
But yeah, that's the chemical reactions
and the shittiness of Rust. You know what we need to do in Rust?
Rust is a fun game though, for the most part, on the reels.
We need to have people set up watches. Like, okay, I need to go to bed now. I've been up for 12 hours straight. Mm-hmm. Now it's your turn to guard the stuff. Yeah. So you log on, and then we have we patrol the perimeter and stuff, and it's real life. We just pour ourselves.
I was thinking about that, having a huge mafia organization in Rust, and just controlling everything. Like you go on a server with 20 other people, and you just run it. Like somebody comes up and they're like, I need wood for a shelter. You're like, you want wood? You're gonna have to do me a favor.
Kill Ricky.
I need you to kill Ricky. Ricky 23591. He said something about my mom I didn't agree with. Now he needs to die. Now of course he's gonna respawn. You're gonna kill him again. You're gonna kill him 3 times. Then once Ricky's dead 3 times, you come to me. I give you your wood.
Give him the wood. Clamps. Every time I think of Mafia, I think of the robot Mafia and give him the clamps.
You keep acting like that. Maybe we'll get you your own pair of clamps. What? That's my thing. You can't have the clamps. We have derailed enough.
Yes.
Thank you for asking us about chemical reactions in stuff.
Oxidization.
Leave us a comment down below. Tell us about what you think about Digimon, digital monsters. Digimon are the champions.
The VR revolution.
Yeah. Do you think virtual reality games will ever become mainstream? Do you think Michael will ever use a Wii Fit? Do you think that he has any interest in using games to get in shape? Let us know in the comments down below. My name is Ryan Shepard.
I'm Nick Rubio.
And I'm Hunter Taylor.
Subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.